Alright fam, we're back tonight. It's like 10 o'clock at night and I got the Dodge in the shop here. We gotta go rescue Ray. There's been a bad storm and between Rock Springs and Green River the interstate's all messed up. The service road's all messed up. The people are taking the old highway and it's causing problems there too. What had happened is Ray took the old highway in his big lifted truck and broke an axle shaft because the road's bad, and so he went out to fix it. I guess they're stuck close to his truck, but his truck's dead, the battery's dead, so we need to go out and see about taking the Dodge, and it's all snowy. And I fired it up and turned the defrost on, and basically I don't have any defrost, any blower. So I got it in the shop, it's warming up right now. We're gonna see about figuring out what's wrong with the blower motor real quick, and then we'll head out to go get Ray. So I'll bring you back in when we get close. All right fam, we're headed out to get Ray, and the roads are pretty bad. There's wrecks all over. This is at the 111, and I'll show you it here. Turn off the light so you can see what we got going here. I don't know how well you can see it, but the traffic's backed up. And there's gonna be a wreck up here past the hill. The blower motor's squealing in this thing, but that's just life. See how bad it's screwed up. The service road in front of us is pretty drifty as well. Well, I'm not 100% sure I can get there from here to go help Ray. I'm gonna have to go take the 430, go through town, do all that kind of stuff, because it's looking bad. As you can tell, I'm driving down the middle of the road, pretty much. Traffic is backed up past Rock Springs, from Green River past Rock Springs all the way to the 112. I'm going to take the back way into Rock Springs and see what I can do with that, but it looks like nobody's moving westbound at all. Alright fam, I'm back. I decided to take Middle Baxter Road, take the back way into Rock Springs. It's kind of the lesser known, lesser traveled area, but it is an asphalt or paved road. So yeah, it's 45 mile an hour, which isn't bad. The roads are slick, but they're not horrible since I'm the only one on it. We're gonna sneak the back way into town, like go through town, because the interstate's just jammed up so bad. The westbound's not even a thing. So we're gonna do that, and then I'll bring you back in. Probably, I gotta run to Maverick, get some fuel here probably before we head out, but or somewhere and get some fuel. And I'll bring you back in when we're somewhere or I see something cool. So see you then. Well fam, I made it to Highway 430. I haven't seen anybody off the road so far. It's probably been 10 miles or so from the yard. And then we're just getting ready to pass Simplot, where they make fertilizer. 430 runs north to south, and it's definitely a little more drifted than the other roads. But we're gonna make it into town, and then we'll get some fuel. And then we'll head out there and get Ray. I tried to call Ray, but I guess he doesn't have service where he's at, or maybe the cell phone system went down or what, but it could have crashed the cell phone system with as many people as around here and probably need help. But we're going to try and ease our way, sneak through town and back out there. So here we go. Well fam, we made it into town here, and Ray just called me up and said that they got moving and they managed to get his truck put together and unstuck, and then I think he's broke an axle again, but it's not all the way broke. It's only like clunking, so they're moving on their way out. So I'm gonna hold tight until he makes it into town and go get some fuel, and then see what, make sure he made it into town. But the dogs are in the shop, the heat's up in the shop, so whether I like it or not, I gotta go back out to the yard tonight. But it should be easier because I can take eastbound interstate. Westbound was messed up, but eastbound looks like it's alright, so I guess we'll get fuel and hold tight until we hear from Ray, and then head back out there. Well, we're getting back on the interstate, headed to the yard. You can see this ain't been plowed or nothing. It's all messed up. So we're gonna see what we see around here on the way back to town, or the yard. Definitely drifty. Yeah, one there that's jackknifed. That one's moving. Well, fam, it looks like basically they got it shut down. There's another wreck right here, but they're shutting it down to try and get the stuff cleaned up between Rock Springs and Green River. So we're just getting off here at the 111. It's still backed up to here. It started about the 107, 108, probably 108. And it looks like part of it's because they're trying to hold everybody back from bottlenecking Rock Springs and Green River Road again until they get everybody cleared out. But the other part of it is wrecks. Alright, fam, I figured I'd give you a little recap on the video here. This was last Thursday. It was a giant mess of a night. Basically what had happened was we weren't supposed to get that much of a storm, probably 1 to 3 inches, and it turned into like 15 inches. And so, you know, it got really messed up. There was, due to the tunnels that we talked about in one of the other videos, the wreck in the tunnels, eastbound and westbound was supposed to be going through the eastbound tunnel. In the middle of this, they had shut down the crossover to get from westbound to eastbound lane so they could go through the eastbound tunnel. And so they were routing people, or the traffic for westbound through the city of Green River, and that slows it down a bunch. Well, every time you have a traffic slowdown or a change in the flow of traffic, then you end up with wrecks. People not paying attention, even people that are paying attention, you just don't expect to have to slow down suddenly, and that's what happened. The storm come in, the traffic was backing up already due to it being 3, 4 in the afternoon with increased traffic, and there was wrecks. Wrecks at the 91, which is right by the exit, wrecks at the 95, wrecks at the 97, and so people kept running into each other. which slowed up traffic there between Rock Springs and Green River as the traffic kept backing up. There was progressively more wrecks through it. The other problem we ran into, or we as Wyoming or Fleetwater County or whatever, the Interstate 80 on Thursday, ran into was basically once everybody stopped and then the semis tried to go, or the cars tried to go, the interstate was so slick that the vehicles would slide off the road or slide into each other, just even trying to take off from being stopped, especially semis. And so it was just side-offs and semis sliding into each other sideways. Basically as soon as they tried to move, they would slide over. So that caused a bunch of havoc. I was out till 2 o'clock in the morning that night. I was out from 10 till 2 to go see if I could help Ray. And our employee Robert, he was stuck in the traffic probably half a mile before exit 99 for about 7 hours total in one spot. It took him an hour from the yard to there, which usually takes 15 minutes. And then it took him an hour to get to Green River from there, which takes usually 15 minutes. So basically he had 9 hours. He got home around 2 o'clock in the morning, about the same time I got back out to the yard. It was a heck of a night. We were prepared. We were ready to go help Ray, but Ray ended up breaking his truck again, or breaking the axle shaft again. Couldn't make it out. He ended up going in 2 days later and taking his tow truck in and going and getting his truck, which worked out really well. It was frozen. It was a lot easier to do that. He got on it first thing in the morning and got it out of there. But yeah, I mean, it was bad. There were slide outs everywhere. I called Highway Patrol and told them I was out in case they needed me. If they needed me, then I was more than willing to go out and help anybody that needed it. But it looks like by the time I'd made it into town, it was probably 11:30 probably. And I mean, that's like, it probably took me an hour to go 20 miles. Maybe 45 minutes to go 20 miles, something like that. Get in town, go through town, get fuel, that sort of stuff. But by that time, most of the problems have been sorted out. Tow trucks have been called on different wrecks and that sort of deal. And so I didn't really have to do anything. Ray ended up leaving the truck for the night, getting a ride with his buddy back in that was stuck, but they got unstuck before he broke his truck again. And he made it in town. I made sure that he made it in town before I headed back out here because, the Dodge is good. I mean, it's got lockers and it does its thing. It's on street tires, but, for what we use it for, it works pretty well. Because it's our boom truck for the towing side of it. It's not the off-road side of it. As you see in the videos, we're building trucks for that. So, we're buying trucks for that too. So it was just a long night. Next day, put the truck in the shop, let it de-thaw. We had a snow day the next day because we couldn't get employees to work and that sort of deal. But yeah, fixed the blower motor. I don't know what was wrong with it. It just started working. I had to hot wire it the night before this night to make it work and make myself have heater. That's why I couldn't shut it off while I was videoing, because the chirping is highly annoying, and I get it, and I guarantee I'm going to get comments about it, and I get it, and I had to deal with it for 4 hours. So it's just, I guess, part of life. I mean, like, it sucks. We have to do what we got to do. Other than that, yeah, it was a good night. Didn't really accomplish much, but we were there just in case. I think we'll wrap up this video here and move on to the next one. So, till the next one, thanks for watching.